First this hour, air raid sirens and explosions have been heard in Jerusalem as the conflict between Israel and the Palestinian militant group Islamic Jihad escalates. It follows intense Israeli airstrikes in Gaza, which killed a second senior leader of the Islamic Jihad group. Khaled Mansour was considered the most important man in the armed wing of the organisation. Well, these are the latest images of the airstrikes. A total of at least 29 Palestinians, some of them children, are now reported to have been killed in this latest outbreak of violence. Well, I spoke to our Middle East correspondent, Yolande Knell, to get the latest on what's been happening there this morning.
So earlier I heard distant blasts as these rockets were fired by Palestinians in the Gaza Strip towards Jerusalem. It's the first time that's happened since the full-scale conflict in Gaza last May. They were intercepted by Israel's missile defense system, but this was very important symbolically. It happened just at a time because it's a Jewish holiday. There are Israeli nationalists who are being allowed to visit the disputed holy site in Jerusalem, known as Temple Mount to Jews. For Palestinian Muslims, it's the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, the holiest place for them in Jerusalem and the holiest place in Judaism. So this is always a sensitive point, always a flash point, and it just fed into all of the other violence that's going on. Islamic Jihad had also been promising to rain down rockets, in its words, on the heads of Israelis after it lost a second commander in Gaza overnight. He was killed in an Israeli airstrike in Rafah in the south. This man, Khaled Mansour, is supposed to be the most senior person that had been left from the Islamic Jihad leadership on the ground in Gaza. So a real serious blow to the organisation. And
on the military side of this, Yolande, Israel will also claim these are targeted surgical strikes. And then you'll hear Palestinian voices say, actually, this area is so densely populated, it's almost impossible to avoid so-called collateral damage, i.e. innocent lives being lost here.
That's exactly correct. We hear that every time that there is a conflict in Gaza. The death toll there is continuing to rise. 29 people killed is the latest, including 6 children, since the start of this Israeli military operation targeting Islamic Jihad began on Friday. Now, in addition to all that's going on, Israel has been putting out a video from its military showing what it says is a misfired militant rocket in Gaza. There is a lot of speculation that this is what caused the death of several people, including children, close to a mosque in the north of the Gaza Strip overnight. It does seem that a number of Islamic Jihad's rockets, the Israeli military says the figure at the moment is about 20%, are misfiring as they are launched from Gaza, so that some of them do land within the Gaza Strip. Now, at the same time, on the humanitarian issue, I mean, obviously things are very scary for Israelis and Palestinians, Israelis particularly in the south of the country, with air raid sirens going off. But there is a humanitarian situation in Gaza that is really worsening. Even the Israeli military, when you talk to them for briefings, they're very aware of this, but they say at the moment it is not safe to allow convoys to enter into Gaza. The main crossings with the Gaza Strip from Israel have been closed for the past week, and that has meant that fuel cannot go in for the sole power station there. It has had to close down, and if you imagine, there are now about 200 people we're hearing have been injured in all the violence that is going on. Well, hospitals say that they are unable to cope.
Thanks to Yolande for that update there.